Today, on Be Something Wonderful, manifesting is the decision that it's already yours. I am your host, Kearin, and these are the studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning, and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. One of you reached out who said that they found our channel earlier this year. First the Kearin channel, and then the Be Something Wonderful channel. And you wanted to share your story with some insights that you believe can help the other creators on the channel. And interesting, this guy said that they formed a little group that meets once a week, a group of close friends that watches our videos and discusses them. So, and I love that. That's great. And he said this is how he manifested his now girlfriend, where they're going to buy now their dream house, which they also manifested together. So he met a girl earlier this year through this group that he assembled about Be Something Wonderful teachings. And now this is his girlfriend. They don't have any plans to get married. They don't believe in that. But they're going to get a house together. They're going to move in together. And he wanted to share his insights, what really did it for him. Because this is a person that's pretty well traveled in the manifesting community. A lot of courses, a lot of seminars. He named a lot of big names, right, that he's had seminars with and so forth. And he said, you know, I was like many others. Right before I found your channel, I was just wondering, why has none of it really worked? Right? He said months, even years of processes and techniques and methods and rituals and ancient texts, teachers and videos, YouTube channels, seminars, courses, retreats, all of it. And yeah, manifested some things, but just didn't feel that he was there. Didn't feel that sense, the sense that he has now, that I am the only source and creator of all of it. And here's part of his insights, which we've been talking about actually the last few days. He goes, I really understand now your teachings. Because manifesting is not something you do. It's a decision you make. Hear this. I talked about this idea and the idea of persisting. Right? Persisting is not something you do. It's a decision you make. It's a decision to be that person that you desire to be. It's a decision to live that dream life now, no matter what the circumstances or conditions look like. And he said here, and every decision you make, hear this, is based on one of those two assumptions. I am or I am not. I love this. Yes. He goes, I know you talk about this in almost every video, but it really went through our weekly meetings. We're really understanding this in such a deep level now. Because manifesting, again, is not something you do. He did a lot of that. And yes, created experiences where he manifested some things. But he felt like something was missing. It just seemed so inconsistent and unfulfilling. That was a big one. Because manifesting is not something you do. It's a decision you make to be fulfilled here and now, no matter what, because you are fulfillment. And every decision you make is based on one or two assumptions. I am everything that I desire to be. I am fulfilled no matter what, or I am not, and I'm seeking it through processes, techniques, and methods and rituals. Nothing wrong with any of that. All of that was part of his journey, and it was powerful. And he has a huge knowledge base, right? A huge base of experiences to talk about. Knows all of the methods and techniques, Neville, Goddard, all of them. But remember, God, or existence itself, the great I am, gave you everything by making you everything, by making you all that is. Each one of you are all that is. Each one of you. You cannot divide up God or all that is or existence. I am awareness, as I am awareness, to be aware of yourself as all that is. You are made as all that is, to be aware of yourself as all that is, the one I am. When he understands now, I can have any thoughts or feelings or images appear in my experience, or even past experience that hurt, that maybe that I still look at now and then. But none of that matters. Wow. Because I know I'm making that decision here and now who I am. And that changes everything, past, present, and future. Yeah, it's possible to see anything, any memory, any image, any feeling, because I'm all that is. I am awareness. Wow, that's powerful. And one of you reached out, and I thought it would be great to fit this into this lesson with this particular creator. Why would God put these desires in me and their fulfillment, and then make it so hard to fulfill them and experience them? This is a person that asked a question, I think it was in an email, that some of these teachers, many of these teachers say, God put those desires there and put the fulfillment there too. That's why you desire them, because the fulfillment's there. We've often talked about that. Of course desire equals fulfillment, because there's only you in reality. But it's not God putting desires within you for a house or a car or money or for an SP. God's not doing that. You are God experiencing yourself as God. That's just what some people say. It makes you feel better, right? Some of these teachers. And that's what they believe. That's their assumptions. That, yeah, there's this higher power putting those desires there, but also the fulfillment. So you have nothing to worry about. Well, but then they go on and nothing's happening. So what's going on? So this is what he's asking. That's just an absolute myth. It's made up. It's their assumptions. There's nothing to that at all. What you are God. Let me be clear. You are God, in other words, the Father or the field. Because there's only awareness, there's only consciousness. You can't divide it up. You're not less than it, you're not more than it, you are it. It can't be more or less or divided up in any way. You are God. I am awareness, consciousness, knowing, intelligence itself. Desiring to experience yourself, that I, as the one intelligent and conscious mind. The one mind, the one existence. Desire then, the idea of desire, not specific desires that are translated into things and people, events, and circumstances, but desire itself is the movement of consciousness or awareness upon itself. God moved upon the waters. It's that movement of desire upon itself. That's what consciousness and awareness does. It moves, it desires to know itself experientially. Or in other words, through infinite experiences. It's the innate impulse, it's that primal divine urge of the one life, I am, the great I am, the one existence, to live. It's the livingness of life. That's what the will to live means. That's what unconditional love means. It just loves. That's what love does. That's what life does. It lives. We love because he first loved us in 1 John 4:19. We desire because he first desired us. That's what it does. Do you see? It's an innate urge to live. That's what the will to live means. That's why our greatest fear is the death experience or non-existence. Because you are that will, you are that desire. Wow. Such a big conversation. We're going to talk again because I just like talking to this guy. He's so broad experience, right? I am is unconditional love. First cause, source. All fear, lack, doubt, and limitation, all fear, all manifestations of fear, all the lack, all the doubt, all the limitation of I am not, come from the apparent absence of that source or first cause. It's never absent, you are it. It's the apparent absence. I am not. That's the primal fear or fear of death or non-existence. That's why fear is not real or reality. The absence of source is not possible because there's only source. Non-existence doesn't exist. That's why we say fear, doubt, and limitation is not real or reality. It's a made-up story. Max Planck, that famous scientist that said this, all matter, in other words, all physical experience, all physical manifested experience originates and exists only by virtue of a force. What's that force? Desire. Desire. We desire to be aware, to be conscious, to know yourself as the one intelligent and conscious mind. It's that innate impulse, an urge, to live, to love, to be, to exist. Wow. All matter, all physical, originates and exists by virtue of a force. That desire, you are that force. And then he goes on to say, we must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter. This is you, desire. You as the center of that one divine mind, that only mind there is. To be aware, to be conscious, to know yourself as that one intelligent and conscious mind. It's the innate impulse or divine urge to know and to love and to be and to exist. That's why physical death is the greatest fear. Non-existence. But it's not possible. It doesn't exist. That's why fear is not real. That's why every manifestation of fear, doubt, frustration, limitation, lack, whatever negative idea that you want to talk about, whatever absence of first cause that you want to talk about, all of that is not real because reality is living, is loving, is existing as source. So, it's not the desire of things and experiences. That's a translation of that innate desire. It's the desire to know and experience yourself as source. That is the higher understanding. But we translate it through this idea of things and experiences and say, I don't have them, I am not that. And we create that idea of lack and limitation and doubt or non-existence or I am not. Wow. That's powerful. The physically focused you translates that innate urge, an impulse of desire, the force that Max Planck was talking about, into the desire for things and experiences, and then deprives and denies itself the experience of knowing yourself as the fulfillment, as the source, as all that is, as first cause. You see, you translate it to that, and then you deprive yourself of it. You can only deny yourself. God already made you all that is. That desire is just an innate urge to be, to exist, to live, to be conscious, to be aware. Consciousness wouldn't be consciousness if it wasn't conscious of itself. Or awareness wouldn't be awareness if it wasn't aware of itself. That idea of I am not yet. Manifesting, therefore, is a decision. And your desire is the force by virtue of all matter originates and exists, as Max Planck said. You are manifested physical experiences. It's a decision, and the desire is the force where all matter originates, that force that is you. The desire to know and experience yourself as the creator, as source, manifests everything you want. Or you can filter that desire and force through the assumption, I am not yet. That which I desire to be, that which I want to have. And focus on the things and experiences you appear not to have or appear not to be. And then manifest more of that, what you don't want. Either way, you're manifesting because you are the force. It's not about not manifesting. It's never about that. You're always creating who you are in every moment. The question is for you as that force, from what assumption, what perspective are you seeing yourself? That determines your entire life experience. Wow. Remember, again, it's a decision. It's not something you do, it's a decision you make. And your desire is the force. Is the force. We don't edit this stuff, guys. One and done here. Is the force by virtue of all matter originates or exists. In other words, your physical experiences. The desire to know and experience yourself as the creator and source, I am, manifests everything you want. Or, when you filter that desire and force through the assumption of I am not yet, then it manifests everything you don't want. Either way, you're manifesting because you are the force. Wow. That's why the ancients said in Joshua 24:15, choose this day whom you will serve. Are you going to serve the things and experiences of I am not yet, the secondary causation? Translate that innate desire that is you through that idea that into things and experiences that you don't have or are not there yet? Or know yourself as all that is. Know that your fulfillment itself, experiencing itself as fulfillment. That's what the unfolding of the physical experience is. The experience of knowing, the experience in the knowing of being source, first cause. Who will you serve? Whom will you serve? It's right here. The choice and decision is yours. The choice and decision stems from the assumption, Neville Goddard's law of assumption, of who you say you are. That's why the ancients said, who do you say that I am? Jesus talking to his disciples in Matthew 16:15. Your I am awareness saying, hey, what's your choice? Who are you? Like A Course in Miracles says, heaven is a decision I must make. A Course in Miracles, every decision you make stems from what you think you are. Wow. In other words, the assumption of who you say you are. Every decision you make stems from that, from who you say you are, and represents the value you put on yourself. Unworthiness is not from the outside. There's no such thing. There's only you as utter worthiness, utter fulfillment, valuing that somehow. It is essential that you accept the fact and accept it gladly. I love this. That there is no form of littleness that can ever content you. Only the magnitude of who you really are. This is the idea of A Course in Miracles talking about littleness versus magnitude. I love that part. Remember, God cannot give you what you deprive and deny yourself. God can only do for you what you allow God to do through you, as you, because you are that one source. There is no separation. Manifesting is not something you do, it's a decision that you make that it's already yours. This was his story. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and these are the studios at Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, be sure to join us on our other YouTube channel at the Tom Kearin YouTube channel. And we also have a live event this coming Sunday, which we're going to remind you of, put out another notice on both community boards, where I answer your questions on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel as you ask them live. This gives you an opportunity to talk with me. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios at Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.